Hi, my name is Maya. I'm a pelvic floor physiotherapist at Urban Wellness, and today we're going to discuss the abdominals during pregnancy and diastasis or diastasis recti. So there's several layers of our abdominal muscles, and it's important that we just kind of know what each of them are. Most superficially is the six-pack muscle, or the rectus abdominis, which runs straight up and down in two lines. And they're divided by something called the linea alba. And when we think about diastasis recti, it's that linea alba that might spread apart and thin, and diastasis meaning separation. Diastasis recti is that separation of our superficial six-pack muscle. Below that, we have two layers of oblique muscles. Our obliques bring our ribs closer to pelvis, more on this side. And then low to that is the transversus abdominis, which runs transversely or across our body in a horizontal plane. I kind of think of it like a corset. It runs all the way from the back into the belly button, and it's more responsible for maintaining good posture or pressure regulation in the space where our abdomen is. Superficially, back to the six-pack, there are some things we can think about avoiding or being mindful of when we're pregnant, and one of them is avoiding crunches, sit-ups, leg lifts, or any repetitive motions where you might be bringing your ribs and pelvis closer together. That repetition, if you were to do this and you were pregnant, you might notice that you might see some bulging or something coming forward in that center line. Now, that's sometimes referred to as coning or doming, and while that in and of itself isn't dangerous necessarily, we don't want to just be kind of hammering into that position. So the avoidance of those repeated movements can be quite helpful. Now, for many of us, we get in and out of bed, we might lie on our back, we might stand up. So it's very common in pregnancy that we recommend rolling to the side and pressing up this way, opposed to sitting up straight out of the bed. So thinking about that, especially in later stages of pregnancy, can be really helpful at mitigating some of the diastasis you might be observing. Another way to manage diastasis is postural. So we like to think of the position of our ribs relative to our pelvis. And a really nice position for you to find your body is the ribs stacked directly over the pelvis, or our diaphragm right over our pelvic floor. So we don't really want to find ourselves in this kind of hunched over C shape, nor do we want to excessively be forward. We kind of want to find a nice neutral posture throughout pregnancy. For a lot of people who work at a desk, they might be more and more inclined to hunch forward, and so thinking about how you can stay in a good position throughout your workday can be really helpful. Now, that's not to say that we can't exercise or move. In fact, mobility and strengthening is really beneficial throughout pregnancy. There's just some mindful ways we should be engaging that you should consult a healthcare provider on what's best for you, or a pelvic floor physio. One of the most important ways that we can support our abdominals during pregnancy is training our deep core or inner core unit. For me, when I think of that, I think about several muscles. I think about your pelvic floor, I think about the transversus abdominis, I think about your diaphragm, I think about the muscles at the back, the multifidus, and how can we organize those muscles and strengthen those muscles in an appropriate way for you throughout your pregnancy to kind of help you maintain function. Now, we lose function, or function changes, I should say, throughout pregnancy because our muscles change. They adapt to these new lengthened positions, and so they're going to engage differently. And that difference in engagement for some people might be totally manageable, and other people might start to have a really hard time feeling their abdominals. So seeking out a pelvic floor physio just to help you understand what's most appropriate for you, or you're welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions, is a great idea for your pregnancy, just to help you maintain abdominal function.